Hello and welcome back to Bible Wits Bible Corner. Today we're going to continue in Galatians. I'm going to read Galatians chapter 2 verses 6 through 10, starting with the English Standard Version. And from those who seemed to be influential, what they were makes no difference to me. God shows no partiality. Those, I say, who seemed influential added nothing to me. On the contrary, when they saw that I had been entrusted with the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been entrusted to the gospel to the circumcised, for he who worked through Peter for his apostolic ministry to the circumcised worked also through me for mine to the Gentiles. And when James and Cephas and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given to me, they gave the right hand of fellowship to Barnabas and me, that we should go to the Gentiles and they to the circumcised. Only they asked us to remember the poor, the very thing I was eager to do. New Century Version. Those leaders who seemed to be important did not change the good news that I preach. It does not matter to me if they were important or not. To God, everyone is the same. But these leaders saw that I had been given the work of telling the good news to those who were not Jewish, just as Peter had the work of telling the Jews. God gave Peter the power to work as an apostle to the Jewish people, but he also gave me the power to work as an apostle for those who are not Jews. James and Peter and John, who seemed to be the leaders, understood that God had given me this special grace, so they accepted Barnabas and me, and they agreed that they would go to the Jewish people and that we would go to those who are not Jewish. The only thing they asked us was to remember to help the poor, something I really wanted to do. Okay. So in the passage we read yesterday, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5, we see that after some time Paul, I'm getting tongue twisted tonight, I apologize. But we see after some time, I believe it was 14 years, Paul went to Jerusalem and met with the apostles. In this passage, it's described as those who are important. To let them, or to tell them the good news that he was preaching. And as they heard what he was preaching, they realized it was the same thing that they were preaching. Now, there's no big difference here, because even though the 12 apostles physically saw Jesus and physically got the message from him, Paul also got the message straight from Jesus. He didn't get it second and third hand. So, after these apostles saw that Paul was preaching the good news, they realized that, hey, this is good. We can keep preaching to this group of people. He can go out and preach to that group of people. We're preaching the same message of Christ. We're bringing more people to Christ. This is a good thing. Help the poor. That is, and as Paul says, he was eager to do that. That is something that all Christians should be eager to do. Help the poor. Don't ignore it. Don't look the other way. Don't sit down and think others are going to take care of it for you. That is something all Christians need to be eager to do. So, just a quick summary on this tonight. I hope you find encouragement in this, and I hope you have a wonderful, God-centered day. Bye.